Hello and welcome to BYJU'S IAS. Our mission is to help students fall in love with learning. If you're liking our initiatives, show us your love by liking this video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't yet. Let's get started with our daily quiz and look at question number 1. Which of the following statements regarding Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana is or are correct? What is the context? This is today's PIB news. It is related to Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana. Statement number 1. This Yojana is part of Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan package to help the poor fight the battle against COVID-19. This statement is correct. The scheme is aimed at providing each household covered under the National Food Security Act with an additional 5 kg grains, wheat or rice, and that too for free, in addition to the 5 kg of subsidized food grain which is already provided under the PDS, Public Distribution System. This statement you might feel that is correct, but it is not for every household, it is for every person. That is why statement 2 is incorrect. The central government and the state governments will share the burden of expenditure on account of intra-state transportation in the ratio of 90:10. This statement is incorrect because the central government alone will share the burden of expenditure on account of intra-state transportation. So only statement 1 is correct. A, only 1 is the right answer. Now let's look at question number 2. Consider the following statements with regard to the Tanjore paintings. Pause this video, look at the statements, look at the option, and let me know in the comment section what is the right answer. What is the context? Telangana artists to display work in Milan. One such work is a Tanjore painting. They are painted mostly on the cloth and the vellum. This statement is incorrect because Tanjore paintings are made on glass and board instead of cloth and vellum. They depict liberal use of golden leaf. This statement is correct. Not just the gold leaf, Tanjore paintings also use gemstones and cut glasses for decoration. And Lord Krishna and his life is a major theme of these paintings. So B, 2 and 3 is the right answer. Let's look at question number 3. Which of the following is part of the Charter of Duties of the Indian Coast Guard? What is the context? This is today's PIB news. Coast Guard rescues 5 fishermen of Bomila Creek. So which of the following is part of the Charter of Duties of Indian Coast Guard? Safety and protection of artificial islands and offshore terminals. Yes, it is part of the duty. Protection of fishermen. Yes. Assistance to fishermen in distress at sea. Yes. Preservation and protection of marine environment as well as prevention and control of marine pollution. These two also are part of the Charter of Duties of Indian Coast Guard. Factual question, but can be relevant for your prelims examination. D, all of the above is the right answer. Now let's look at question number 4. Consider the following statements. Jal Jeevan Mission is being implemented in partnership with states and union territories to provide safe tap or tap water to every rural home by 2034. Puducherry has become India's first Har Ghar Jal union territory by ensuring that every rural home in the union territory gets a household tap connection. For Jal Jeevan Mission, there is assured fund available under the 15th Finance Commission Tide Grant to rural local bodies and Panchayati Raj institutions for water and sanitation. Which of these statements is or are correct? Jal Jeevan Mission is being implemented, yes, along with the states and their active participation to provide safe drinking water to every rural home, but by the year 2024, not 2034. Puducherry is not the first union territory to implement Jal Jeevan Mission in its entirety. Goa is a state, Telangana is another state which has ensured that every rural household gets tap connection. But we have had Andaman and Nicobar Islands, the first union territory to ensure that every rural home gets a household tap connection. That means statement 2 is also incorrect. Statement 3 is correct because under the 15th Finance Commission, there is a grant available for sanitation and water for these rural local bodies and Panchayati Raj institutions, which can be used for Jal Jeevan Mission. So C, only 3 is the right answer. Now let's look at a previous year's question paper, Prelims 2012. What is the role of UV radiation, ultraviolet radiation, in the water purification systems? Number 1, it inactivates or kills the harmful microorganisms in water. This is correct. It removes all the undesirable odors from the water. No. It quickens the sedimentation of solid particles, removes turbidity, and improves the clarity of water. No. A, only 1 is the right answer. UV rays, what they do, they penetrate harmful pathogens that are found in your normal household water and destroys illness causing microorganisms. How? Because UV radiation, they attack the DNA of these microorganisms, and by attacking their DNA, it eliminates the microorganisms' capability of reproduction. But these UV systems, they destroy the microorganisms without adding chemicals, without changing water's taste, and without changing its odor as well, the smell as well. So statement 2 is incorrect. What is turbidity? It's the measure of relative clarity of a liquid. For example, the more clear your water is, the less turbidity of the water. UV radiation has no impact on the turbidity of the water or the clarity of the water. That is why A, only 1 is the right answer. Now let's look at the fact of the day. Leader of opposition, Mr. Suvendu Adhikari, who defeated Mamata Banerjee from Nandigram constituency in West Bengal, is now the leader of opposition in West Bengal Legislative Assembly. Few details. Leader of opposition. For example, in Britain, leader of opposition is known as the shadow prime minister. Because as soon as the Prime Minister loses his confidence in the lower house of the British Parliament, the first opportunity is provided to the leader of opposition. He is invited or she is invited to form the government. In India, leader of opposition is a statutory post. This post is defined in the salaries and allowances of leaders of opposition in Parliament Act of 1977. But let me address few misconceptions regarding leader of opposition. You might have heard that any political party, if it gets more than 1/10 of the seats, whether in Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha or Legislative Assembly, the leader of this party is given the status of leader of opposition. But is this 1/10 criteria mentioned anywhere? No. Is it mentioned in the Constitution? No. Is it mentioned in this Act? No. This Act, look at the wording of this Act very closely. In this Act, leader of opposition is the leader of the party in opposition to the government having the greatest numerical strength and should be recognized as such by the chairman of the Council of States, who is the Vice President of India, or the Speaker of the House of People, the Speaker of Lok Sabha. That means this act is clear. Who is the leader of opposition? The leader of a party which is in opposition to the government, and this party should have the greatest numerical strength. And at the same time, the leader should be recognized by the chairperson of Rajya Sabha, by the Speaker of Legislative Assembly, by the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. That's it. 1/10 criteria is not mentioned anywhere. But we witnessed from 2014 to 2019, there was no leader of opposition in Lok Sabha. 2019 onwards also, there is no leader of opposition in Lok Sabha. Why? Because the single largest opposition party in this period was Congress with 44 seats. Again, Congress with 52 seats. So the reason given is that the Congress party, which could not get more than 1/10 of the seats in Lok Sabha, or no other political party could get more than 1/10 of the seats in Lok Sabha. That is why we do not have a leader of opposition in Lok Sabha. So what is the origin of this 1/10 criteria? Direction 121, clause 1, clause C. And what is this direction? This is the direction of the speaker. Way back in 1950s, the speaker had to decide about the seating arrangement of the members of the parliament. How the seat should be allocated to the leaders and the members of various political parties. For that, the speaker decided to make a difference between a party and a group. I repeat, the speaker had to allot seats. That means seating arrangement had to be finalized in the Lok Sabha. For that, the speaker issued a directive differentiating between a party and a group. Now, what is a party? A party is a group of members who have more than 1/10 of the seats in Lok Sabha. So any political party which has more than 1/10 of the seats in the Lok Sabha would be declared as a party, and this party would be given precedence in seating arrangement. And the members of a political party who have less than 1/10 of the seats in Lok Sabha, they would be categorized as a group and they would have less preference in this seating arrangement. And it is this direction which is being used as a basis of providing the status of leader of opposition. That means leader of opposition is defined clearly in this 1977 law. It does not talk about this 1/10 criteria. The origin of this 1/10 criteria is Direction 121, Clause 1, Clause C. In fact, this question was asked in 2018 prelims as well. Consider the following statements. In the first Lok Sabha, the single largest party in the opposition was the Swatantra Party. No, it was the Communist Party of India. In the Lok Sabha, a leader of opposition was recognized for the first time in 1969. This is correct. This is when the Congress Party got split. In the Lok Sabha, if a party does not have a minimum of 75 members, its leader cannot be recognized as the leader of the opposition. This statement is wrong because the law does not talk about any number. Even if this Directive 121 Clause 1 Clause C is to be taken into account, that would mean 1/10, and 1/10 of Lok Sabha 543 is 55, not 75. That is why statement 3 is also incorrect. B, 2 only is the right answer. That is it from our daily quiz. Thank you for being with us. Have a great evening.